Welcome to the Grueling Truth Radio Network. Welcome, UC Bearcat fans, to UC Bearcats on the Prowl, part of the Grueling Truth Radio Network. As always, James Ernest and Mark Fightmaster here to entertain you. Mark, tell us what have the Bearcats been up to?
Well, football just keeps rolling along. They lost 33-3 to South Florida. Not a lot to talk about. They got their butts kicked. Our offense couldn't get on track. Defense couldn't stop them. But to say that was unexpected would be a lie, because, we talked about it. We talked about the problems they were going to have. What disappoints me a little bit is they played Michigan better than they played South Florida.
Uh-huh.
And, Michigan, in theory, is a better quality opponent.
Exactly. Well, I'd say both of them are pretty tough this year. Yeah, no, I agree with you. Michigan still should, in theory, be a bigger challenge for them. But, they're both the Floridas the last 2 weeks are, pretty highly rated. So I can't throw too much shade on them.
Right, and they were going up against a team that ranked in the top 20 on defense and top 10 on offense. So, they had their work cut out for them, and they're just not ready to compete with that yet. The problem now is that, UC's sitting at 2-5 with 5 games to go, and can they go 4-1 in these final games to at least become bowl eligible? Is a bowl going to take them? Who knows? But at least get them bowl eligible, because I think that would be, I think that would make for a successful season, especially coming off last year. So, and this week we got to get it going against SMU. SMU is a 7.5-point favorite, but their offense is good. Not as good as South Florida, and their defense is nowhere near as good. So hopefully we can get some things going.
Exactly. So they'll, UC should be able to move the ball on them better. Like you said, they might not be able to stop them, as well as we'd like, but they can at least move the ball. So it at least should be more competitive and more interesting every game.
Right, and actually UC's defense is ranked higher than SMU's defense statistically. So now, granted, their SMU's offense is 11th overall, and that is because of the way they pass the ball. They average 316 yards per game in the air, and I once thought that was going to be playing into UC's strength, but that was proven wrong over the last 3 games, starting with the Marshall game, because Marshall threw all over them, and then Central Florida did the same. So, we got to see if they can tighten things up in the secondary.
Yeah, I agree with you. Giving up 31 points a game, that's not a stout defense, but if you're scoring 44 or 43 a game, then you can afford to do that. So, like you said, it's just,
SMU subscribes to the belief that we're just going to score more points than you. We don't have to stop you on defense. We have to score more points than you on offense. And obviously they do it through the air. Trying to see here, their quarterback is, passing.
Ben Hicks.
Yeah, Ben Hicks. I'm sorry, I was looking. They've got like 5 quarterbacks listed. He has thrown the ball 222 times in 6 games. So I'm not a math major by any means, but that is 30 to 40 shots through the air a game. His completion percentage is 59%, and he has thrown for 1,672 yards. You can pretty much look at the stats and see, their rushing game is good. They're mid-40s. So, but it's just,
I mean, he's not the focal point, but you're right. He can play him and Freeman.
Yeah,
he's got something good going there. So
we got to stop the pass. You know, make them one dimensional. Excuse me, there. Sorry, make them one dimensional. And then try to stop that one dimension, but you got to force them out of the air. You know, and I quite honestly, I don't know how to do that because, I mean, the Bearcats are not a team that can go 7 in the box, even 6 in the box because of some of the trouble they've had stopping the pass.
Exactly, and SMU has 3 nice options with Quinn, Sutton, and I'm going to say James because I'm not sure what the last name is. Croce.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, they're going to have a tough game on their hands. Actually, the stat that really impresses me the most is Hicks's touchdown to interception ratio, where it's 3-1. I'm like, dang, that's pretty solid.
Yeah, he doesn't make bad decisions, you know, and he doesn't force it. But the thing, he doesn't have to force it, you know. And I mean, that's, you know, looks like he averages about 7.5 yards per completion. So yeah, it's going to be trying to think of a better term, but a struggle for the back half of the defense just to see what they can do.
Well, I was going to say one bright spot is looking at those numbers. You're like, wow, they're really impressive offense against Stephen Austin. Who?
Mm-hmm.
I know North Texas somewhat kind of counts.
Yeah.
TCU kicked their head in. Arkansas State, they beat them. And they won at Connecticut.
Mm-hmm.
They lost to Houston. Well, it's not a bad loss to Houston, by about 2 touchdowns. But yeah, I was going to say some of these wins that he did 400 or 500 of those yards in that game against Austin.
Well, yeah, I mean they put up 58 on Stephen F. Austin and 54 on North Texas. You know, and they put up 44 on Arkansas State. So the quality, and I agree with you, the quality of the opponents that they put up a majority of the yards against is not, you know, the caliber of UC. But, you know, can UC get their defense together? And, you know, so we'll see.
It'll be interesting. Yeah, because, I mean, UC, I know people are going to go, oh, well, they beat Austin P, and it wasn't even by that much. But I think Austin P is better than Stephen Austin, at least. Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah,
and
better quality opponent.
Ohio's getting better. So there's some, you know, Michigan obviously is going to be tough. Navy was going to be tough. The Marshall one, the one out of the bunch, is so far that, you know, hurts a little bit. Because the other games, like you said, I mean, we were talking about how well Central Florida's done, South Florida's done. So those ones you can understand. You can write those off, no problem. But the Marshall one, it's like, oh, that's just frustrating. But
that Marshall loss is confounding to me.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to checking out the game this Saturday because it's going to be nice. It won't be late. It won't be early. It'll be right in the middle at 4 o'clock. So that'll be yeah, so that'll be good.
Yeah. So we'll see. You know, and we've talked about it till we're blue in the face. What can Luke do with this team? You know, can he? I mean, we're on a 4-game losing streak now, and got to get it turned around sometime. Got to break that losing streak somehow. Hopefully, this is the week. You know, get them ready, get them going, get them prepared, and see what happens.
Yeah, so I mean, there's some. Okay, never mind. I was going to say there's some good there now. Yeah, but there's potential to get out of it. I agree with you that I think they'll be able to bounce back in this game and hopefully win this game. If not, at least have a really competitive game.
Yeah, you know, and maybe that'll be enough just to be competitive. I mean, because we're looking at 2 straight games where we've lost by what? We lost by 30 against South Florida, and we lost by 28 to Central Florida, and actually lost by 17 to Marshall. I mean, the closest game we've had was that 10-point loss to Navy, you know. So I just got to see, you know, got to hope that we can turn it around, get these kids going in the right direction, because unfortunately, you know, in some of my coaching experience, you learn once guys start losing, especially young guys, you know, it's tough to get them out of it. They just get in that mindset that, you know, it's going to be the same thing, you know, so hopefully that's not happening.
On the bright side, we do have some winning coming our way soon. Basketball.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because football, yeah. But on the bright side, basketball, I mean, they've got all kinds of good stuff. You got Jacob Evans with the Julius Erving award watch, you know, list. They had their big media day up in New York, which, you know, why New York, whatever. And so other good things. I mean, they're picked number 1 overall in the conference, which that'll be tough. Now that it's kind of funny, Wichita State comes in. You know, of course, they got a couple other teams that are solid in the conference, so that'll be some good stuff.
And that goes to show you how much the conference respects UC. You know, they were picked to win it with Wichita State coming in. And, you know, I know we talked a couple weeks ago. I don't think it was last week, but John Rothstein puts out his preseason rankings, and he talked about Wichita State being as high as a 4, as 4th in the country. You know, so, and that's a national analyst saying that, you know, and so it's going to be, it'll be interesting, you know, it'll be, I don't want to jinx things, but it's got the potential to be a really fun season for the basketball Bearcats.
Yeah, I was going to say, unfortunately, they did lose Troy Cocaine, but they picked up a bunch of other great things. They got that point guard that's, like you were talking about from,
Kane Broom.
Yeah. So I've heard nothing but great things there. Cumberland, I'm sure, has progressed. And, I mean, you still got the big men on the inside. So, yeah, it was not a bad thing to say about their basketball team. Actually, speaking of Troy, we are in talks with his people because we became friends with the Lakeland Magic, the Miami Magic minor league. And he is their G League team. He's with their organization. So we're hoping to get him on in the future.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Heck yeah. Yeah, I was excited when I found out he made the team. Talked to their head coach, Stan Heath, and Anthony Parker, their GM, great guys. And they were just telling me, I mean, how excited they were about Troy Cocaine, how bright they believe his future is. And it's just nice to hear good things about Bearcats.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know, and it's going to be a fun season to watch. You know, just real quick to go back to the voting, the preseason coaches poll. They had UC first, they had Wichita State second, and Wichita State was only voted second by 3 points. So that's how close they think those two teams are. You got UC with 118 points, Wichita State with 115. Then you drop down to Central Florida with 93. And then SMU, last year's champs, at 91. So it's going to be a grind. I mean, the basketball season's always a grind, and there's going to be lulls. You know, they're going to lose 1 or 2 games here and there. But man, it's got the potential to be good. What I did find interesting, James, is they were voted first overall, and they had no players voted first team all conference. They had 3 players voted second team. Gary Clark, Jacob Evans, and Washington were all voted second team. So it's interesting, you know, to see. I think that is the conference giving credit to Mick for his coaching ability, and for the recruiting he's done, because he's got he doesn't have one standout player. He's got a lot of solid players.
Exactly. You know, they don't have just that one go-to guy. They have a whole team, and that's the reason why they're being picked, is because they have a solid team, player 1 to player 12.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it'll be it's going to be a fun season, man. Buckle up for the ride, because it's got the potential. I mean, even coming off of last year, what they had 3-4 losses in the regular season, So, I think it's going to be a fun ride. It's going to be fun talking about them, and it's going to be a lot of fun watching this team play.
Cool. And let's see. Oh, yeah. Big thing that's coming up. I'm going to start hyping it up, so I'm excited about it. It's the start of basketball season. On the 28th, they're going to be playing, of course, their red and black scrimmage at NKU. Yeah. The nice thing is it's free, so many people that want to attend, feel free to attend. It's going to be 3:30 is when it's going to be. Parking's $5, which really is that bad for parking? No, not bad at all. So, yeah, there's some good stuff there.
And what date did you say it was, October 28th?
October 28th. So not this Saturday, but next Saturday.
Okay, so very cool. I got to tell you, that's going to be a great opportunity to go down and watch them and get to know some of the players because really, we got a lot of returning players, but I don't think we've really had a chance to see what they can do. I'm looking forward to Jerron Cumberland this year, seeing what he can do. He's been rated as, there's articles that talk about him as being a dark horse, like the X factor for this team, just because of his size and the fact that he can handle the ball. I do want to see this Broom kid play a little bit, and that's an excellent opportunity to spend $5 for parking and go see the Bearcats playing what's going to be their home for this season.
Oh, and then I just got good word that we're expecting Hosey Williams possibly going to be on next week's show. So that's good news.
Oh, okay, cool.
So, yeah, because he just wrote back. He is very interested in being on the show. So, yeah, it's always good to catch up with former Bearcats. Yeah. So, yeah, the football or the basketball team sounds like they're doing great. The football team has potential to come out of its tailspin. And like you said, to get to go down and experience UC basketball for $5 for a carload of people, not $5 a person, which even then, still a heck of a good deal.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, there's nothing bad to say about that. And then I hear they have a women's team, but let's be honest, I think they're going to be missing this entire season. So.
Yeah, I think I saw they were preseason picked to finish 8th.
Yeah. I was going to say, unfortunately, on the court, they're not picked that well, and unfortunately, the court they're playing on shouldn't really be less motivating.
Yeah.
But they still have some talent. Anna Owens, very talented young lady, scored 35 against Ohio State, not last year but the year before. So, 35 in a game, especially against that type of talent. Ohio State's been doing so well. Like, they are giving them the national title at their home this year. So that's going to be cool.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, because they're going to have some of the tournament in Lexington again. So I'm hoping to check that out. And I definitely want to see the game, of course, up in Columbus, national title.
Yeah.
Yeah, Anna and then Johnson, who is just intense on the inside. She's a heck of a player. So there's some good players coming back. coaches, I think they'll do better than 8th. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to go crazy and say, they're going to win it all and beat UConn. No, because UConn is just ridiculous. But
yeah.
I could see them sneak into the tournament. And the nice thing is, if they do get in there, then they won't be playing at home, which where home is for this season for the ladies. So yeah, I think they will do better. They've got Sam Rogers who's coming back. She's going to be healthy. So yeah, they got some bright spots because she was hurt most of the year, and she's one of their better shooters. And then they got a couple Puckett who's coming in as a freshman. They got Green who is a redshirt. She's a center. So yeah, they got some good talent. So not that it's going to be as good as the men's season this year, because the men's, like you said, could be historically good kind of thing. We just celebrated the 25th 25-year anniversary. You know what? Maybe since it's been 25 years, it might be time again.
Yeah. Amen. We can use it. We need some good stuff for Bearcat sports.
Exactly. So, hey, at least we're not the Louisville Cardinals.
Amen.
Yeah, that's got to be rough for them. I was going to say, I feel bad for that, organization, because, there were a couple people that made those mistakes and did the wrong things. But there are a lot of people down there that are doing things the right way and, bit them in the butt. So, yeah. Any final thoughts?
Nah, let's just hope we can get some offense going, this week. Something to hang our hats on a little bit, so.
Exactly. Hopefully, quarterbacks will step up their games, because they showed spurts at times, but it's just not, been there the whole season. And shoot, if Boone's healthy and running for us, he can do some great things. It's been rough on him. So
yep.
For Mark Fightmaster and James Ernest, signing off for UC Bearcats on the Prowl, part of the Grueling Truth Radio Network.